So keep it loose and then sort of the last one was introduced.
Hello, welcome to In Defence, the traditional martial arts. Just a video recapping what happened on Sunday, which was the first meeting of the UK contingent of the Fajin project. That's a group on Facebook designed to weed out a lot of the nonsense that goes on in the internal martial arts. Rob Poynton, he pretty much organised it in response to somebody kind of calling him and me out. So we invited these guys to turn up. They didn't. A lot of friendly, like-minded guys did turn up, had a great time. This video has ended up a bit arse about face because the introduction ended up being quite long. So I've put that at the end of the video. I've put the highlights first. I'm going to link YouTube channels to anyone that's in the video that I know has a YouTube channel. If you're in the video and you do have a YouTube channel that I haven't put in the comments, let me know and I'll add it. So yeah, watch the video. We had fun.
It's fine, she's going to
I lifted.
You start pushing me this way.
Where do you play go?
This is about the right sort of size, but depends what you're trying to do as well.
That's the thing.
It's important to discover each other and get to work out which one moves, where your centre of gravity is, and all of that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's
Do you think your prognosis with your thinking and everything?
Yeah, I'll tell you what it does, but it's mainly because when the kids are knocking around, out of nowhere, Mark 1 diaphragm comes out and they'll crap themselves.
Oh, that's good. Beautiful.
Nice looking, brother.
Saying what a lot of people don't understand about this kind of exercise. Tell me what teach you something. Step back, it's what's allowed to do. You're open for
Sorry?
That's a bit hard.
Don't mind at all, mate. Whatever. If I cry, you'll know it's too hard. No, cool.
This way, fellas. This way. Right, this way, fellas. Back over to the middle.
Sound.
My name's Rob Hoyt. I started training in martial arts when I was a kid. I did judo and boxing. Then it would have been in 1980, so I was what, 17. I started training in Yang family Tai Chi. I stayed with my first teacher for about 12 years before splitting off to start doing my own thing. Explored a lot of different Tai Chi teachers, mostly in Yang style. And then to kind of fill the gaps, went around and trained with a lot of other people. So for a couple of years, every weekend I was going to different workshops. Dave Turton, Steve Morris, no touch KO guys, everything, all sorts of stuff. And then in about 2000 I started training with some Russian guys, so I pretty much do that now. I teach Tai Chi and Qigong still for health primarily, and as I said earlier, I always say for older people, but they all seem to be about my age. So, so yeah, that's it.
So, Andy Digger Denny.
Was as fast as a centipede. Ha! Ha!
For those of you who know me from Facebook, I'm an ex-Royal Marine, so my martial arts journey started when I was about 4 years old in judo. I still practice judo, though I find I'm getting broken a little bit every now and again these days with it. I teach Mi Zongchuan and judo. I'm a lineage holder, for those of you who don't like the word. Yeah, never mind. In Mi Zongchuan, which comes from Tangzhou in Hebei province, and it's mainly forms-based, but we in our lineage have always extrapolated and drilled applications as well separately. So I've quite functional ideas about martial arts based on that. Also learnt young style Tai Chi, and I teach young style Tai Chi, like mainly for health for people, but also I like taking Tai Chi apart and looking at it as a martial art and seeing what works and what doesn't and why. So I'm looking forward to playing around with you guys today.
Cool. Hi, I'm Stephen Burt on Facebook.
Now, the third one, number 3, practice the scorpion style.
Started martial arts about 10 years old, doing a little bit of judo. Didn't stick with that, but then moved on to Laogar, which I did off and on for years and years. I'm a 3rd degree black belt in that. I've dabbled with Yang Tai Chi over the years in that, only dabbled, never really taken it seriously. Currently, I mainly do K1 kickboxing, bit of MMA and a bit of jiu-jitsu. And that's about it. I did quite a bit of semi-contact points fighting as well, and a little bit of inter-club kickboxing. That's about it, really. Cool.
Hi everyone, my name is Kwong Sam.
He was known as the snake spirit. He had the speed of a snake.
Started martial arts, I think about 17 or 18, 1999 I believe. Most of my friends at the time, circle of friends, do some kind of martial arts. I wanted to do Taekwondo because I was quite flexible at the time, quite tall, very slim. But one of my friends who started, who does Silat, Indonesian Silat, he said to me, he says, I would recommend you start Tai Chi because it teaches you one of the best skills for close range fighting, and that is the sensitivity. I made an appointment to go to a class with another friend. The previous night was a Saturday night. We went out drinking, and I turned up on Sunday. He never turned up, and that style has remained my only style now, and that is the Wudang Tai Chi Chuan with Dan Doherty. In between, I dabbed with praying mantis, I dabbed with Wing Chun, I dabbed with Jet Kundo. I also dabbed with some MMA stuff. But Tai Chi Chuan, the Wudang style, Dan Doherty lineage has been my main and only style now.
Practice the lizard style.
Martial arts journey is nowhere near as long as any of you guys. Probably started in my early 20s with a few weeks of mixed martial arts with a friend's uncle who taught in Leicester. Didn't last long, that's probably because of the age. I was more interested in other things, maybe beer and women. But I started training, I started training at Sistema probably 2011. I'm still here, it's been on my journey, and I think that's probably why I'm still here, because it's the journey that of discovering yourself, which is what's kept me in it. So I think if I was started at an earlier age, I probably wouldn't appreciate it as much. So.
Oh well, my name's Ed Phillips.
He practiced the toad style.
Again, I've not got a long background of starting when I was really young. I've always been into my fitness, and around about the age of 33 I got bored of the fitness for the sake of fitness. I started getting into own my own boxing gym, MMA, JKD, very kind of limited in terms of traditional martial arts, but that's what I'm here for today, so I can discover more about what's kind of out there. Met Rob around about 2005, 2006, and then like Rob developed a love for Russian style. You know, certainly I like the health side of martial arts and the longevity side of healthy martial arts, you know what I mean? I don't think this idea of, you know, being broken into little pieces as a 30-year-old is a very good course of action. So Love learning, love meeting people on the journey, you know, and all this kind of stuff. And just looking to add a little bit more to my knowledge or whatever. So really pleased to meet you guys, and hopefully, you know, learn a bit from you today. So thank you.
I suppose I should do a bit. It's my video, eh?
You've not specialized in any one skill.
Yeah, you better introduce yourself,
So,
bro.
being on my channel, as this video will be, we kind of know my background, but I'll go through it again for anyone new. I started out in Tai Chi. Most people say, Tai Chi, you need to do other martial arts in order to make it work. I started off with doing Tai Chi. I learned under Keith Roos before going to Dan's seminars. Ended up with Godfrey Dornley, one of his inside the door students, learning the Nigun system under him. Only ever did yin set. I think I left by the time I was ready for the yang set. But yeah, I had a gap of about 10 years. I used to use my Wudang. I'd go to Muay Thai clubs, Kyokushinkai clubs. I fought Sanshu at the British Open and won my one and only fight I ever had in it. Had about 10 years where I just learned stuff at home. Then got a bit fatter than I am now. I've realised, looking at the camera recently, I need to lose this again. I decided to take up boxing, went to a local MMA gym, got bit by the bug, started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, got to purple belt, had a few amateur fights, and during COVID, suddenly you've got no one to practice with. The Tai Chi came back out, I started getting really back into learning the forms, searching up online, realised there's a hell of a lot of woo out there. Unfortunately, Rob sent the invitations out, and none of these woo artists that can push people with little fingers and jalapenos and whatever else have showed up. What a surprise.
There's been invites gone out across the board.
Yeah, but only
what a shame.
Yeah, only the people that seem to think that Tai Chi is just another martial art sort of apply. It's interesting hearing other people talk about injuries, because I went into, I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA at like 33, I think I was. I stopped last year, February before last.
What, when you were 34?
No, when I was 45. But I truly believe, I never had any real injuries going into that. I broke a couple of ribs in training. I think that can happen to anyone. But I thoroughly believe that my Tai Chi training and my continued Tai Chi training sort of was what prevented a lot of the injuries.
I do believe Tai Chi has a really good injury prevention and also healing from injuries as well. I've met many people who had major surgeries coming out of hospital. Really, with the Tai Chi that really do help them, aid them in terms of recoveries.
I think it gives you such a knowledge of your own body that if your knee's about to go out, I'll tap. That's the awareness.
It's like an internal sensitivity.
Yeah, and I know my structure. So if my knee's bending a certain way, which everybody in Jiu-Jitsu ends up with bad knees, and I've tweaked them. Don't get me wrong. I think you can't not tweak them in that, but I've never had anything snap. I've never had to go out injured because of my knees. I'm nearly 46 now, and I can still do stuff that most people 10 years younger than me can't do with their knees. I do put that down at Tai Chi. Anyway, I think it's probably good to get doing some stuff.
I just want to say one other thing about how this came about, because I won't go into the full details, because anyone who's in the particular Facebook groups will have seen it. But Mike Graves, who was a student of a good friend of mine, Dave Nicholson, put a video of me up back in the 90s, somewhere doing the form. And some people said some things and some people said other things, that's fine. But one particular guy who was very local to here, and an instructor, just came at it with both barrels, and F all and all this kind of stuff. Okay, all right, show me yours. Well, no. And anyway, that went on and on and on. He got more and more insulting. I think he insulted both of us.
He invited us down to practice. Yeah. When we both said, okay, we'll turn up, it suddenly went to, you can show us your form.
Yeah. And I'll show you mine. So then it ended with him saying, me and my teacher are going to track you down and come to your class. Okay, all right. save you a journey, what I'll do, because obviously I've got strong connections with Leicester and these guys here, I'll come up to Leicester. You're only down the road, and I've not heard a word since. So I thought how nice it would be though to turn that negative thing into something positive. So I've got a nice crowd of people every day. We can all learn some stuff.
Fair play, Rob. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Cheers.